one vendor. Most of you must be knowing Kaspersky. So this is one vendor called Kaspersky, and the graph is loading. So most of you must have used this antivirus tool, uh, and many of you must use the firewalls and lot of software modules given by Kaspersky. It's getting loaded. Give me a second. Okay. Hope you can see this. So this is worldwide. Whatever packets are flowing through, it's the real-time threat map. And you can see on the left, there is a box which tells you about which ones are intrusion packets, which ones are vulnerability exploits, and all kinds of threats that are presently recorded by Kaspersky, just one vendor. So just the same way, you have a lot of threats recorded by other companies as well. So be it McAfee, be it Checkpoint, be it Cisco, be it Fortinet. Talk about any firewall vendor, talk about any antivirus vendor. So they record all this stuff. And you know the source and the destination of these attacks. So at this point of time, this is the number of attacks that is happening as recorded by Kaspersky. Just imagine, just imagine, uh, you are combining all these threat maps of Checkpoint, of Cisco, of Kaspersky. What will be the amount of attacks that are happening exactly as of now? So at this time, 2:41 p.m. Now you can visualize how many cyber attacks are happening at any given point of time. So, what is a cyber attack? By now, you must have already understood because today morning, too, some sessions have happened. So, a major attack vector of cybercrime is to exploit broken software. So, in cyber attacks, normally there are some vulnerabilities in software or in hardware which you are using, and then they try to exploit that to inject their attacks. All the attacks that we are talking about is mostly on the websites, mostly on some application software deployed in either individual systems or in organizations or government organizations. But what we see in the web is just 4% of whole data that is actually there on the internet. So that 4 is called as surface web. So anything which is there with Facebook or Google or Wikipedia or being Twitter, Instagram, that is all just surface web. And it amounts to only 4% of the whole data that is there. And next we have 90% of the data in the deep web. And this is not accessible by Google. If you type something, the information that is there in this 90% will not appear in Google searches or Bing searches. And no information about this is also available in Wikipedia or any other such regular application. So this data is all about medical records, legal documents, scientific reports of a particular organization, some subscription information, or academic information, then lot of databases, financial records of organizations, government organization records. So lot of repositories. All this amounts to 90%. And the remaining 6% of data is there in the dark web. And this cannot be accessed through our regular browsers. You need to make use of something like Tor or other deep web technologies. So normally, most of you must be aware, all the illegal information or some private communications or drug trafficking, all this stuff is said to be there in the dark web. Now we are talking about social engineering, which is used to trick humans who hold some sensitive data. The sensitive data could be their own personal data, or could be a password, or some OTP related to a financial transaction. So we are just in this particular talk, we're just talking about uh, not even 0.1% of the data that is there World Wide Web on the internet. Social engineering is the term used for a broad range of malicious activities accomplished through human interactions. It uses psychological manipulation to trick users into making security mistakes or giving away some sensitive information. Normally, social engineering attacks are carried out either purely through technology, means software and hardware, or through people manually by making a phone call or coming directly to the office. So, when you talk about technology based social engineering attacks, we mean computer based, means laptop or desktop based attacks, or mobile based. So there are a lot of names given to these different social engineering attacks. So if the attack is launched through an email, it's called as email phishing. If the attack is through a USB drive, it's or a CD, it's called baiting. If the attack is carried out through a wireless access point, through Wi-Fi, then it is phishing through Wi-Fi. If the attack is or the target is reached through, it's called phishing through SMS or smishing or SMSing. Then QR codes, so they can also divert the funds. And similarly, through people based means phishing through voice, it's called as phishing. Or somebody can pose as IT help desk people, and they can impersonate somebody and come to your chamber and make changes to your computer. So email phishing, as I just told you, these are the attacks that use emails, and these attacks are launched to gather information or exploit a vulnerability which is there in some software product in your computer. Means if you have not updated your operating system, or if you have not updated a software that is installed in your machine, then these attacks can actually exploit that vulnerability. Similarly, as I just told you, USBs and CDs, okay, they can also be used uh, to embed a known vulnerability and create a backdoor connection to the attacker's machine. So attackers here can create a Trojan, means it's a malicious software that will provide backdoor access either using auto run feature, or when you click on a menu, when you insert the menu will get displayed, click on that and then open a file inside a drive. Then phishing through Wi-Fi, can set up a fake Wi-Fi network in a public place like a park, a restaurant, or launch. So the SSID that you see may be very close to the airport name or the railway station or park or restaurant name. So user might directly get connected and uh, he may be offered free Wi-Fi, but whatever data he sends will not be encrypted, and somebody in the middle may know what data is being sent. It may include even passwords. So phishing, which is voice-based phishing, also involves a voice message, and it tricks user to leak sensitive information. Like for instance here, assume a user gets a phone call saying you have some pending insurance amount to be uh, claimed. You haven't claimed it yet, and we'll send you an OTP to verify your credentials. So the retired person may send the OTP, and he immediately may get a message, an SMS saying so and so account, so much money is withdrawn. So this is a typical phishing activity done through a phone call. So these attacks, they fall under social engineering. It's all about sending false mails and links that appear to come from legitimate sources. And these sources look very close to genuine sources with minor differences. And victims are tricked into sending their personal or sensitive information, and this information is used by attackers for their malicious purposes. Normally, these phishing activities, as I told you, they are used to know passwords, account numbers, credit or debit card numbers, pins, and this data directly is collected and is sent to the attacker's database. You might be surprised to know phishing as a service is becoming popular. In a way, phishing economy is getting industrialized by itself. So there are also phishing kits uh, available for targeting enterprises. So what is done in this social engineering? So investigation, initially, people prepare the ground for the attack. They identify the victims, they gather background information, they now plan which attack method to use to which organization, to which individual. Then they somehow get connected to the target or the victim and they engage the target. They start spinning a story and take control of the interaction. Then obtain information for a given period of time. Then start executing. Okay, so once the attack is done, once all the data that is required is collected by the attacker, they remove all the traces of malware in the machines. They cover all the tracks. Okay, and everything, they exit with a clean chip. So, as per Akamai's reports that I have collected, even 2022, they have published a few reports. Uh, it- so, the financial services related attacks are growing in number. That's what they meant to say. So, this race is following since the COVID breakdown. So, Akamai observed that you can number 628729147 number of web attacks globally. Of them, 736,071,428 number of attacks, they're only in the financial services sector. And this number has grown up in 2022 report that they have recently published. How are these attacks carried out? Where? So through malware. Malware is in short for malicious software. What does this software do? It does whatever was told by the attacker. So what are the things that the attacker can tell this software to do? Encrypt your data and demand ransom. Unless you pay the money, your data will not be decrypted. Or it may irritate you with lot of advertisements. Or keystrokes may be recorded. That or sensitive information, be it passwords or other stuff, they'll be logged and then they'll be collected and then sent to the attacker. Sometimes usernames and passwords, the credentials for certain websites or opening certain files, they may be stolen. How do they come to your computer? As a downloaded file from a web page. You may visit a web page which is malicious or fake web page or is already infected with malware. If you click on some link and download a file, that malware may get into your computer. Or you got an email from somebody and that has got an attachment. You click on that attachment, and if that email is from a genuine source, then it is likely that that attachment is infected with malware and that may get downloaded into your machine. Sometimes people download some softwares which are cracked versions. So the websites themselves might be good, but the files that you're downloading, the pirated softwares, cracked versions, they may be infected. So your system might get infected because those cracked versions of softwares, they may leave a lot of doors open for attackers and other programs to come and stay in your PC. All said and done, if the malware is already in your system, how do you know there is malware? Increased CPU usage, or system may hang up and may not respond to any mouse click or command. Strange icons might appear on the desktop. Strange files may appear in the folders. The files may get encrypted, or sometimes the files may go deleted. So malwares have got different names. There are thousands of virus. Several others are called worms. A few more are called trojans, ransomware, spywares, adwares, botnets, keyloggers. These names are given based on the activity that they do. There are a lot of variants of each of these in each of these classes of malwares. How do you check it is malware? So you may make use of antivirus softwares or check with a website called as virustotal.com. Let me show you one example. I'm sharing the screen. Hope you can see this.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So So I'm taking you to total.com. Yes, it's loading. So if you suspect any file, you can upload that file to this system. This is the simplest way to do. There are many other techniques, but this is the simplest thing to do. Or if you suspect some website to be fake, then you can also upload that URL here. So, or for a particular file, if you have a signature, if you know its ID, digest, you can also upload that digest instead of uploading the whole file, because uploading the whole file
Ma'am, there was a discontinue in audio. Madam, we are not able to hear you. Madam, we are not able to hear you, ma'am. Sorry for the interruption. I think there was some disturbance, and Madam will resume the session shortly. Yeah. In the meantime, we will take some questions if there are any questions. Okay. No sound. Yes. Yes. Good afternoon. Okay. All right. Okay. Ma'am, you have joined with two things, ma'am. Which one I have to give permission, ma'am?
Yeah, is that okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I think
I'm sharing the.
one you can disconnect, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mm, okay, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Fine. Okay, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, the presenter privileges are given. Yeah, madam is resuming, sir. Please wait. Session will be resumed, sir. Kindly wait.
Okay. So let me directly do it with okay. So you can choose a file and upload some file, or you can click on the URL and load a URL. Some URL. So this URL is a typical test website. So this is here one of the security vendors have said this is phishing site, and some other vendor said this is malware site. Or you can also say something like google.com, and you can see almost all of the security vendors, they said it is clean. So right, no security vendors flag this URL as malicious. Now you can also upload the file if you're suspecting any malware, or like you can type the ID of the malware. Okay, so I'm just typing in some ID. One archive. So like this, you can type any website and then find out if it is malicious or not. So next, you can also check these if they're having malware through using antivirus softwares. So this right side diagram is about when a system is infected with WannaCry ransomware. So this is how the whole system is frozen, and you get this screen. And on the screen, because it's a ransomware, you get a message typically looking like this, saying you buy this much money through, and this anonymous payment. Okay, so mostly the hackers or the attackers, uh, they wish to take over online accounts using stolen passwords and usernames, or they may make use of some automated tools to harvest information such as website format and content from web pages. They try to get as much information from the website as possible. So they may replicate a website using phishing attacks and scams. And they can also make use of scanning tools to scan web applications for vulnerabilities in the process of gathering information about the victim or the victim's organization. Or you may also have some DOS attackers like web clients or botnets that use automated tools to launch lot of DOS attacks, denial of service attacks. What is a denial of service attack? So a server normally accepts a request and gives back a response. We send a URL and we get back some web page, some content displayed in a web page. But these attackers send so many fake requests to the server that the original requests of original genuine users, they get lost in the huge or volumes of requests generated by these attackers. So then the server ends up denying any service to the genuine user. So that's why it's called as a denial of service attack. Then web attacks SQL injection means in your database, lot of fake records can be added up, or the database table, the contents may, or remote files can be included. Cross-site scripting attacks might happen. What if the malware already got into your organization's network or servers? I'll make you walk around with a few case studies. Sony Pictures hack. A hacker group which identified itself by the name Guardians of Peace. They leaked the release of confidential data from the film studio Sony Pictures. And the data included personal information about Sony Pictures employees and their families, in employees, information about executive salaries at the company, copies of the then unreleased Sony films, plans for future Sony films, scripts for certain films, and lot of other information. Not just stealing all this information, they went beyond that. What did they do? They employed a variant of a malware to erase off the whole data in their systems. Why was this done? It was about uh, stopping the release of a movie called The Interview. So the consequences, Sony elected to cancel the film's formal premiere and mainstream release, and followed by a digital release. Then LinkedIn hack, most of you must have studied this. In this, 100 million email addresses and passwords, hashed passwords, were breached. And later on, it was found that a few million LinkedIn users' data was found on the darknet for a small price. Netflix attack is like Netflix subscribers got an email to furnish some credit card information, but actually the mail Netflix. So people, whoever responded to this, because 110 million subscribers got the mail, whoever responded to it, their data was actually collected by the attackers. Then WannaCry, which is a ransomware attack. So in the after a few hours of the launch, it spread to about 99 countries. There are now and then some media reports that even some infrastructure is affected in India because of cyber attacks. So here is another ransomware attack. In 2021, an American oil pipeline system that originates in Houston and carries gasoline and jet fuel mainly to the southeastern United States, it suffered a ransomware cyber attack. So then, with the assistance of FBI, they paid some 75 Bitcoin. Day it was worth $4.4 million within hours of an attack. They sent back some code software, and they ran that software and they got the systems up back. But when they investigated, they found that the same group has stolen 100 gigabytes of data from company servers one day before the malware attack. Then stock exchanges are affected. Many government officers keep getting emails with government mail IDs, but the mails are fake. Then it's a recent report, 2023. You can see the link below. So it's that 73% of Indian firms were hit by ransomware attacks. And so the vulnerabilities were about 35% of the cases, and uh, followed by compromised credentials, means username and password or some sensitive information was lost. How do people gather information? They may make use of many tools available. There are commercial tools, there are free tools available. So somebody can send you a link, and that link, when you click on it, your data will be collected. Lot of information about your device, your softwares, your that version will be collected. Or people can send fake mails, or there is something called as Google Dorking, which helps in specialized searches. And they're all, how to dork, how to search, how to make a specialized search is all published in something called as Google Hacking Database. I'll show you those. So this is the Grabify link I was talking about. So somebody can visit this website and create a URL. So this URL may be cloned with some company's URL, regular company's URL. Very simple. Just create a URL or a tracking code and then send it through SMS or through email to anyone through WhatsApp. If somebody clicks on it, what are the features collected? So these are the date and time, IP address of that device with which you clicked on the link, country, city, battery, whether it's in charging mode, orientation, means horizontally you're holding or vertically, the connection type, the time zone, language. So whether you are using incognito or a private window, and about ad blocker, your screen size, local IP, browser that you are using, operating system that you're using, device, if you're having any GPU, the bot name, user agent, all these referring URL, means whether you click from WhatsApp or you click from an email. So that will be known through, then host name, ISP that you're using, and lot of stuff. Okay, all this information will be collected by them when you click on that link that you receive through an SMS or email or WhatsApp or any other medium. Emails. So like I got a mail, I want to check whether it is from a genuine source or not. Then what do? I click on the three dots and go to show original. And then I would get this. And if you see in sender policy framework, the pass, okay, so then that means it is from genuine source. Otherwise it is from, if you see fail here, then it is a wrong mail. Similarly, I just told you Google Dorking. So I have used index of /etc/password in the Google search box. Now I am getting all the websites where you have this password file which has no permissions. I can click on that, get hold of that password file. If something is written there, then that can be used by the attackers. These are just typical examples which we normally training our students. How do you get those search strings? The search string that I have typed here now, how do you get that? So people keep searching and then they find out some typical search strings. They post them in the GHDP, Google Hacking Database. you can see here. So if you click on this, if you use this for searching, then there are chances that the hackers or the attackers or the criminals get hold of some sensitive data. So 17th July, some information is added into the database. So you have numerous links here available in the GHDB. So people can collect information from here. And then there are a lot of security breaches happening every now and then. So like for example, I'm just sharing this. Yes. So this is a database breach search engine. So if some website is hacked and the database is breached, then all that information is put out here. So all the data is collected here and people can find information, something about, you can see here, you can see the information, emails, names, usernames, IP addresses, phone numbers, password hashes, and lot of information is available here. Where is it collected from? From websites which are already attacked. Okay, so this is one. Then haveibeenpawned.com. You can see this. So if some website got hacked and you hold an account in it, okay, like for example, if I have subscribed to Big Basket or Amazon or any such website as or Swiggy or Zomato, any website, with this account, with this email ID, then if that website is breached and if that data is available in Snusbase or any database breach search engine, then you'll get all those websites listed here. So you can try with your mail ID, which you normally register to Big Basket or any flight ticket booking website or any website for that matter. Okay, if that website is already breached at least once, your mail ID, uh, for that mail ID, you'll get the list of those websites. Please check all of you. And find found, then the best thing is to change the passwords because your password is already there with somebody. So you may get some SMS when you click on the link. As I told you, lot of information about your device will be collected, or some malicious software may get downloaded into your machine, or you'll be taken to some fake website and you'll be asked to enter username and password, and that fake website will actually collect your information, username and password. SMS is sent. So there are many ways. I'm just showing you one typical example, like spoof my text. So people can actually spoof the text. So to which country, which phone number, and all. Type the message and then send it. So there are licensed versions also for this. You may get some clone page like this, and when you type username and password, in a website which is not having the actual website name, and if there is no lock symbol, if there is no HTTPS, this prefix called HTTPS, then that means this is a fake website. When you type your username and password here, or mail ID and password here, somebody carries away that data. So what if some example, you have clicked on a link, and next a malicious app, it might have got downloaded into your device. So unknowingly you have done malicious file. Somebody can connect from that malware to their system and then inject some malicious programs and remotely control your device. Net seems to be a bit slow today. Okay. Yeah, meanwhile that before that gets loaded. So there are other attacks also happening of late. Like for example, you can see this article. People are using ChatGPT like anything for preparing their notes or writing papers or learning new things, right? So now cybersecurity attacks are also being designed using ChatGPT. So this AI-based application, which is actually helping several people for good causes, it is equivalently helping even the criminals to design better and better attacks. So as you can see here, so there are many attacks being designed through AI-based tools. So it's till now the attack mode was all something different, and from here onwards maybe the attacks will be more sophisticated. Okay. Okay. So so there are how to avoid all these. So there are many other tools available like Proton Mail, Epic Browser, DuckDuckGo search engine, Signal app, okay, and many temporary emails, so 10-minute mail and all that stuff. So you can make use of these instead of regular emails to avoid uh, tracing back of what you do. So a lot of browsers, they are tracing our user behavior, and many mail service providers, they know what all our contents are. We don't have privacy. So, but these products, they actually say they are offering, they claim that they are offering anonymity and security to the users. And there are some important websites. Like if you see some video going viral, then you can stop it by going and registering a case on stopncii.org. Or if somebody's Facebook account is hacked, so you can go and report here. Cybercrime.gov.in is a place where cybercrimes can be reported. And if you have purchased something online, you need help because you're not satisfied with what was purchased, you can go to consumerhelpline.gov.in. And anything related to women incidents, you can go to ncw.nic.in. Yeah, whenever you want to make a financial transaction, always be careful about suspicious looking pop-ups that appear during your doing some transaction and suddenly some pop-up comes. It asks you to click on it. So normally don't uh, uh, don't get distracted with those pop-ups and advertisements. Similarly, ensure password, credit and debit card numbers, CVV, private. So you should not leak that data. And HTTPS is something which you need to look at whenever you're performing a financial transaction. And never share copies of passbook or checkbooks, bank statements, your Aadhaar Xerox copies without writing or striking it off on, uh, without writing a purpose on it. So don't share the KYC documents with strangers. And in the end, so infosecawareness.in, this is a website where you can get loads of information for people of all walks of life: children, students, women, family, police, teachers, government employees, network and system admins. So you have got different materials for different people. So you can advise your family members, your colleagues to look at this for more information. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful and enlightening session. And there are a few questions. Okay, shall we take it up, ma'am?
Sure, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
My net is a bit slow, so
It's okay, ma'am. I'll read. I'll read it for you, ma'am. Don't
yeah,
worry.
okay.
Which operating system should we use, Linux or Windows?
It doesn't matter as long as you're using an up-to-date version and you're having antivirus softwares. And it
Okay,
all
ma'am.
depends on your in the office or your work. It all depends on the nature of your work.
ICAR, the policy for selection of OS in government organizations, we will take it up separately, sir, not in this forum. Is there any statistics on how many Windows OS and Linux systems got attacked for financial loss? Sir, maybe that data you can get it in certain website and you can contact them also for setting for such kind of data.
Not just that, not
Ma'am,
just in certain reports, all the vulnerabilities announced, but you can also go to that particular vendor's website, security advisory, and they'll also list all such issues.
okay, ma'am. Can ethical hackers hack our social accounts like Facebook, Insta, can read our messages?
They can gain username and password if we are not attentive and if we are careless. Anyone, be it ethical, but normally they are not supposed to. Ethical
Yeah,
means they have values and they do it for a good cause.
correct. And how do we differentiate genuine SMS and fake SMS, ma'am?
Yeah, you can read the content and it automatically strikes, na? So somebody says you won so many crores of lottery. Click on this to claim. Or somebody says your account or SBI internet banking is blocked. You supply KYC. So why will somebody send you that message? So you can by reading the contents you can actually make out whether it is fake or genuine.
Yes, ma'am. We are receiving SMS from telecom banking industries for payment related links. Yeah, yeah, I think the question was already addressed now. All right. And can proxy settings on internet browsing prevent hacking, madam?
Proxy setting where
On
in the
internet browsing.
organization. We are talking about our credentials. So we're logging into a website. We're talking about when you're entering username and password, be careful because you need to check whether the application that you are providing data to is genuine or not. So proxy is like when somebody is trying to attack a server. Uh, it's totally a different context.
Okay, ma'am. Using VPN apps from Google Play Store safe?
VPN is always safe.
Okay, ma'am. But VPN apps from Google Play Store, ma'am.
I'm not sure. I haven't used from Play Store anything
Exactly.
because normally your companies they do all that stuff.
All right. All right, ma'am. Those are the questions for this session. And thank you, ma'am, for your time as well as a wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I hope that session was helpful to all the participants. So with that, how do we? Okay. How to keep so many passwords remember so that have a one password for all?
That is dangerous.
That is dangerous. Sir, morning we have discussed the passphrase, right? So there is a concept called passphrase. So if you
Yeah.
use a passphrase, that will helpful to you to remember as many passwords as you can. Okay. You can just visit our website so that you will get to know like what passphrase and all. But if time permits, I also will discuss about the passphrase. No issues.
Thank
So
you,
once
sir.
again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time as well as wonderful session. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next session now. Thank you. Yes, using VPN apps from Google Play Store is safe. 100% is no safety. And if it is free and open source, don't believe. And if it is purchased by your organization or purchased by you, you can believe. And many of the VPNs are also banned in India due to the data is moving out of India. That is the reason that the government of India has also banned so many VPN apps, in recent times. And again, like if there is any free VPN, say no. Say if at all, if you are in a critical organization, if it is a small personal uses, okay. Otherwise, if you are in a critical organization, never ever go for such kind of things. Okay. So that's with respect to the VPNs. And someone is also asking like, how do we detect or how do we know like whether it is a genuine SMS or genuine SMS or fake SMS? Yeah, you can see the service provider. So on top of it, like you will be having a service provider. If you see the service provider, and you can think of, let me show you to you, right? You will be getting this kind of service provider, right? And still, and if it is comes from a number kind of thing, you should really suspect. If it is a number, you should really suspect. And if the message is containing asking for any critical information, you should suspect, right? There are two things. One is if it is a number, you should suspect, and if it is a number with a legitimate organization, for example, SBI, HDFC kind of thing, then at that time you can believe. And one more caution, for that message there is a one more caution. If they are asking any sensitive information on behalf of their agency, then you should suspect and you should not respond to any of such kind of mails, right? In recent times, you might have been seeing like if you are not able to pay your if you are not able to pay your money, your electricity connection will be disconnected. And mostly that such kind of messages you will be receiving from a number. And update your KYC, bank details and all. So that time also, most of the times it comes through a number. If it is comes through a service provider, then you should see, and if at all they're asking any critical information like updation of KYC or upload your Aadhaar card, PAN card and all. So don't believe such kind of links, and don't respond to such kind of mails, messages. That is one thing. And for example, you have applied something and some messages came through that service provider, then you should you should see whether that link is taking to you in a copy and paste that link, and you should see that like whether it is taking to a genuine location or somewhere else. Then you should react accordingly. You can take a call, right? So hope it is clear to you. Hope it is clear. Both the questions. Hope it is clear. All right. So let me move on to the next session. So of course, last but not least, you can give your full attention so that we can conclude the session at the earliest. And you also, by end of the day, you should learn something, and you should be able to implement as part of your personal as well as professional life. And whatever you have learned, and the same message has to be communicated with your near and dear also, so that everyone will be safe in the cyberspace, right? So that's only the underlined objective of organizing these kind of training programs, right? In this particular session, we are going to talk about social networking and security measures based on the time availability, and e-learning and assessment also I will tell you. And of course, like I am myself Jagdish Babu, project manager for ISCS CDEC Hyderabad, and I was coordinating and organizing these programs since from long time. And of course, like I'm not spending too much of time on these critical part. We will move on to the some of the security and privacy settings of the social networking. I may move quickly because of the time constraint. And most of the people are aware like what are the advantages for social media, social networking. And you also heard about a word called social media and social networking. There is a slight difference between social media and social networking. Social media is a one-way communication. Social networking is a two-way communication. In the form of social networking, you can interact one-to-one and one-to-many, many-to-one, bidirectional. So all such kind of things happen in the social networking, but not in the social media. Social media, something will come, you will you will listen and you will leave that. But whereas social networking, you have one-to-one communication, one-to-many, many-to-many, many-to-one, and all such kind of experiences. Either it could be a instant messaging platforms, or in a bulk bulk posting media platforms kind of thing, right? So this is an example of social networking platform. Is internet have any boundaries? I wanted responses from all the participants. Is internet have any boundaries? Like the internet will go and stop at Delhi, or internet will go and stop at Arunachal Pradesh. I wanted responses from everyone, please. Is internet has any boundaries? Yes or no? So I'm started receiving no. All right, thanks. Igar, yes. Okay, except Igar, like everyone is telling like no boundaries. So I believe like internet has no boundaries, and anywhere in the world you can access. Within the world you can access the internet in anywhere, unless if you have a proper connectivity kind of thing, right? In the same way, thank you, Saran madam, for your response. And in the same way, social networking platforms also doesn't have any, doesn't have any boundaries. You can talk to anyone in the world, right? And you can have any number of connections. You can have any number of friendships or whatever it is. All such kind of things you can maintain by using these social media platforms, right? So that's the biggest advantage of these social networking platforms. So this is an example of such kind of thing. And the usage is, you can meet the people on online across the world. You can make the friendship with the people who are very far away, either your friends, relatives, and new friends, or whatever it is. And top of all those things, the profile building and self-representation. So these are the two things which are happening right now. So overnight you can become a very big celebrity. And if at all if you have made a good post and if the post is liked by many people, then you will become a celebrity, right? That is what can happen in the social media. At the same time, someone is telling like someone has created a fake profile by using their credentials, so the reputation is at risk. So those things can also happen. So there are positives as well as negatives. So we have discussed about the positives. You can meet people across the world. You can have a friendship with the faraway people, and you also can build your profile. Like this is what for example, there is a sir in the training program, Venkateswarulu. So he wanted to build his profile because his expertise is in the agriculture domain. So based on his expertise, he can bring out some good awareness things so that he can build his profile and he can improve his presence and across the globe, right? Within the India or outside India also. And self-representation, you can say that like this is what mine, this is what me, right? So such kind of things can happen. And sharing and exchanging of a lot of information in terms of so many things, and sharing of data files, videos, music, photos, etc. All such kind of things also will happen in the form of social networking. One thing we all should remember: if you write something on a blackboard or a whiteboard and rub it, it will be rubbed. But if you write something in the social networking platform or in the internet platform, you cannot take it back. The moment you thought like you should take those words back, so by the time we don't know like how many have read, how many people have it was forwarded to how many number of people, those kind of things we cannot get it back. You may be deleting, but by the time we don't know like where all it went. So that is the kind of thing which happens in the social networking platform, right? As I told you, profile building and self-representation. So these two things, if you want to do it in a perfect and good manner, so you have to have limited understanding and limited posting, so that you can secure yourself. Otherwise, if you have written something and you thought like you should remove that, by the time that message will go to a number of platforms. So the social networking platforms are many types. So one is socializing, where you might have been experiencing all these things, and the career and business opportunities like LinkedIn, Meetup, Exchange, and all. And online matchmaking platforms are also there nowadays. And many people are also do for the financial frauds, like matrimonial websites and dating website and all such kind of things. Online shopping platforms also, you can discuss and you can express your thoughts and you can give your ratings, reviews, and all, so that others may get benefit out of your experiences. So these are the different platforms, and I think these things were also happen. So the cyber crimes happens in the pretext of food supplying apps and those things, and luring the people onto the social transactions and hacking accounts, creating fake profiles, filming and circulating the pornographic content. So all these things are happening. 2 days back, I don't know like how many are read that article. So one of the doctor who have purchased samosas in Mumbai, some 25. Anyone read that article? Can you please say yes or no? Anyone read that article? Who purchased samosas in an online platform, and he was got cheated for 1.4 lakhs. All right, sir. Thank you. Okay. BSY. Yes, sir. Right. So he was a doctor and who have purchased some samosas. Somehow not happy. He wanted to call back. He called back, and there was some kind of discussion which has happened, and they might have been shared some link, and he might have been entered his details and all. So later part he realized he lost around 1.4 crore rupees because of that 25 samosas costing. So you have to be very, very careful. The underlying pointing is like whenever you are searching something, you should be very, very careful. And if you are completely aware, yes, this number belongs to this number belongs to CDAC, this number belongs to IACA, then you should talk to them that respective numbers. And when you're talking to them also, and if someone is asking any critical information, you have to be more cautious, right? So anyone can go and change the numbers of those respective organizations in the Google, right? For example, cigar is there. I can just go there and I can search their details, and there they have shared some numbers. So those numbers can be changed by anyone, right? By using some false information. So, but the damage will happen later part, like the corrective mechanisms will come. So the immediate damage is very, very important. To stop that damage, you have to follow all the practices which we're talking from morning onwards, right? So these are the various cyber crimes. I think last year, like we have highest number of cyber crimes which are recorded in the country as well as outside country also. Right. Okay. If someone says something is free, you are become a product. Are you all agree with this? If something is free, you are become a product for those people. Are you all agree? Are you all agree? Yeah. Yeah. More responses, please. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I think you got the point. So I need not worry about that thing. And cybercrime was thank you, sir and ma'am. So cybercrime was improved a lot, and 59% Indian adults become victim of cybercrime for various reasons. Or they might not be, as I told you, like dating, like more senior citizens are become fallen into these kind of traps, and somewhere or other they were not able to go and report in the things also. If they report also, nothing will happen, right? So the report says, like, adults are become victims. So it is your responsibility to create awareness with your family members, either your mother, father, brother, sister, who the daughter, son, whoever it is there. So at least, like, whatever the things you are learning, those things you have to communicate with your family and friends, so that they will you can keep yourself safe and your family also in safe, right? There are so many incidents also. So this guy lost more than 34 lakh. So this we will this is an insurance scam, right? So he was an employee like you and me, and he was about to retire, so he wanted to invest some money. After retirement, he wanted to get some kind of money, so he started searching something, and finally got some link. He proceeded with that link, and he shared all the details, and he transferred the money and all. So he transferred more than 34 lakhs within 26 consecutive transactions. And later part, he realized it, like 36 consecutive bank transactions, and later he realized he lost that money. Okay, by the time, like, the cyber criminal has taken away all the money from that account, like whatever the account which he received from the victim, and that money was circulated, and it was money was siphoned from that particular account. So whenever, if you are not able to search, and if you are not able to find out perfect or good link, it is always a danger which is involved, right? So you have to be more cautious about finding information and providing the information, especially wherever you are giving your username, password, and all critical data. You have to be more cautious. You have to be more cautious. Okay. You have these are the numbers as a summary of the slide is like 1/3 of the social media users are there in India as a whole, right? So whenever you are using the social media platforms, all this information goes out of your hand. Either it could be your name, mobile, email, birthday, date, photos. Are you all agree with this? Are you all agree with this? Right now, madam also shown some Grabify. I will just send some image to you, and I will get all this data, right? So this much of information goes out of your hand, right? And the name, more than 89%, age 65%, email address 58%, and the bank details 7%, mobile number 45, 44, 49% of the data is in a public domain. So with this data, someone can blackmail with other people? Can blackmail with this data? If I have that data, can blackmail happen? Or like it may lead to some kind of financial fraud? Will it happen? Yes, it will happen. It will happen. Right. That's right. That's right. So we don't know, like, who is chatting in the especially in the social networking platforms. We don't know, like, who is the other person, unless and until you see them physically, unless and until you know them, they are your family and friends kind of thing. And we don't know, like, who is the other person. So you have to be very careful in the social media platform. So in the social media, very important session. Thank you so much, sir. And photographs can be taken, altered, and distributed on other websites. So this is the risk which is involved. I will tell you, I will show you, like, how much data we are giving to the criminals by uploading one or two photographs our which are clicked on our mobile, right? So photographs can be taken, altered and distributed on other website, and it may lead to blackmailing and exploitation of the personal information and identity theft. It was discussed cyber stalking and social phishing and cyberbullying and blackmailing, illegal content, age inappropriate content, exposure to the sexual content. Okay, we all know, right? The moment you go back, like you leave your mobile phone, and our children will browse something, and they are not doing wantedly, but they will browse for something, and some pop-ups will come, right? Either because of you or because of either maybe or may not be. See, for example, you have seen some kind of news or videos or some kind of reels or whatever it is. So that kind of, like, whatever you are searching, that is stored in the that digital footprints are always stored in the browser. And through that thing, the moment you go back, definitely you will leave the mobile phone somewhere, and you will freshen up, will take the dinner, and you will go to the bed. So during that time, our family members will use either our family members, including children. Sometimes it may lead to some kind of issues also, right? So they may get an exposure to the sexual content, which is dangerous. And these are the some risks in the social networking platform. Younger generation tend to be more trusting, right? They look like, they'll try to build a trust initially, right? For example, if I send some kind of friend request, if at all, if you are accepting, and I will try to build the trust. Once the trust was built in from social networking platforms, instant messaging platforms, they will move on. Later part, they will start exchanging pictures, videos, live and whatnot. So all those kind of things will happen, right? So arranging the meeting with online social media contacts, which is dangerous, and believing the people who they are not there in the social networking sites, right? So I can, on my profile, I can just keep it Shah Rukh Khan photo. Do you know, like, whether he's a Shah Rukh Khan or Jagdish Babu? You never knew. Or like, madam, can keep, some, I'm just giving an example, not to not to use that kind of photo. Now someone has used photograph of Miss World or Miss India, and definitely there are some people who believe, yes, 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 she is a Miss India, she's a Miss World. I'm very happy, and I'm very privileged to talk to that Miss India and Miss World. But unfortunately, you never knew, like, who is behind, whether someone is there or some, who is there, we don't know. So that's the kind of risk which are involved. You might be experiencing that. And he's a Maharashtra engineer, and who lost 57 lakhs, and here is a lady who lost 71 lakh rupees. So both cases are more or less in a similar way. So they met people in social media platforms, and they become good friends, and they wanted to marry, they wanted to get married, and they started interacting and exchanged photographs, videos, whatnot. All the things that happened. Finally, they decided they wanted to get married, and in both the cases, it was told, like, in this case, in the 71 lakhs, she is a widow of 42 years old, and she was told, like, he was told, like, he was living in UK and working as a doctor, and he was also, he was also divorcee, and he wanted to marry this lady, right? And finally, they decided, and one fine day, she got a call stating that this so and so person has came, and he was kept under the hold because of the customs. He brought a lot of gold and money. So unless and until you pay the custom duty and all, that money and won't be released, and he also won't be relieved. And this lady was believed, and he's done a lot of transactions, and finally she paid more than 71 lakh rupees. And later part, she realized, okay, whether where this money is going, why, again and again, again and again. Some this gang of 10 to 12 people will call, one person will say, like, he is from custom, and another person say, like, we are from the GST department. Other person says, like, courier. Other person says, like, police. Other person says some other department. So this is a full type of gang. Either maybe one person or two, three people with different numbers. She started receiving, and she believed all such kind of things, because he also sent some kind of earlier gifts, and she also transferred, and finally she is the victim, right? So these kind of things will happen. So you have, unless and until you are live and you are awaken yourself, so these kind of things always happens, right? I gave another example also, and he was this is a bit old. he has made a friendship with more than 200 people. In one fine evening, he said like his mother was hospitalized, he wanted money. So all, kind-hearted people transferred the lot of money and crores of rupees in one fine day. Later, these two girls came forward and reported about this guy, and he was caught hold and kept behind the bars. So by the time like he earned a lot of money, and of course like that money was also went into some other locations, but nothing has happened. And he's a ninth class boy who is misused his classmate photograph, the altered and blackmailing their parents, right? So these are the kind of things which can happen. So there are like that, there are so many incidents which are there. You also might have been heard reading through your friends, colleagues and all. And only thing is like I don't want to threaten you by showing all these things, just to create awareness and to keep yourself aware in the cybersecurity domain. That's only the interesting or underlined point in this session, right? So like we are all using the social media platforms, and many of the people might have been set the privacy and security options. You want me to discuss privacy and security options of your WhatsApp platform? Please say yes or no. Okay, one yes I received. Two. Okay, right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's do that. Please open your WhatsApp. All right, thank you. Please open your WhatsApp as we are running out of time. Please be quick enough. Please open your WhatsApp and click on the three dots and click on the last option called settings. Once you click on the settings, open the account. Open the option called account. Hope it is clear and hope you are all able to follow. Click on the three dots, click on the settings, click on the account. Once you click on the account, there are option called privacy. There is an option called privacy. See, please see that, to confirm you that I'm not telling anything, like what are the options which are available, those options only I'm just discussing with all of you, right? And if you click on the privacy, and you will be getting a lot of options. Last seen, for example, you might have been seen at 3 o'clock. And if you want to show it, you can show it. Otherwise, if you don't want to show, you need not to show. That is up to you. You can just see that since it is a Windows, you can get the things. And click on the profile picture. So there, like the profile picture, it gives three options. So those the profile picture, it will give you three options. So the option one is so the option one is with everyone, my contacts expect, and nobody. So whichever the option you choose, you can choose, but I prefer only keep your profile picture on only to my contacts. Only to my contacts, and if at all if you choose a nobody also, no harm, right? What is a harm? I know like who is Venkateshwarlu. If I know the Venkateshwarlu, why should I need his profile picture, right? It's not required. He needed to share it with Jagdish also. I'm just giving an example. So you can choose like everyone, my contacts except nobody, right? I preferably choose my contacts. And the next option is profile picture is there, and status. The moment you click on the status, there you will be getting three options. Okay, the status, you will be getting three options. My contacts expect, can share only with. And if you want to share only with your brother, sister, family members, you can share it. And if you want to share only with your contacts, you can share, right? All right, those are the three options. And the groups, this is very important. Under the groups option, you have these options called my contacts, everyone, and my contacts expect. Okay, everyone. So what happens if you choose an everyone can add into their WhatsApp group without your knowledge. If you choose only my contacts, only the people who are there in your contacts, they can add you into their WhatsApp group. And if beyond that, if someone wanted to add into their WhatsApp group, and you need not to worry, you will get a notification says this Jagdish wanted to add you into his WhatsApp group. Then if you believe like Jagdish is a genuine guy and Jagdish is a known person, then you can allow him so that he can add you into his WhatsApp group. If you deny, nothing will happen. Profile picture, obviously yours. You cannot keep your profile picture of someone else. So profile picture, if you want to keep, you can keep. Otherwise, you can keep it plain also. That is not no harm. Hope it is clear. In the privacy option, you have I discussed about the profile picture, discussed about status, and I discussed about these groups also. Groups also, keep it only my contacts rather than everyone, so that those kind of things which can happen. So these are the privacy, and under the privacy there is an option called fingerprint lock also, but I won't suggest you. I will suggest you something else. Okay, under the accounts, you have seen the privacy, security, and two-step verification. So if you want to lock your WhatsApp, you can enable this two-step verification. The moment you open this two-step verification, right side extreme screen, you can see that, so that you will get an idea. So it will ask you to add as enter a 6-digit pin. If you want to add, you can add that 6-digit pin, and email is not mandatory, you can skip it. And once you enter the 6-digit, but you should remember very well, and that 6-digit you can add it and click on done. So the pin will set. No one can open your WhatsApp unless and until you give this pin. So this is the security option, right? So through this, like, either family members, if you don't want to share your WhatsApp with your family members and friends kind of thing, you can lock, and otherwise you can open it. So this is up to you. And two-step verification is also there. That is a security feature. Profile picture, status, groups, and all are the privacy options. So these are the security and privacy options provided by the WhatsApp. You can enable them and you can safeguard your account. If you keep this two-step verification, by chance, by unfortunately, if someone lost their mobile also, no one can open their WhatsApp account, since this WhatsApp is locked. Unless and until he knows that number, he cannot he or she cannot open that WhatsApp. Hope I'm clear. Please say yes or no. Are you able to do these privacy and security settings on your WhatsApp account? All right, sir. Thank you so much. Very good. Thank you. And this is how it happens in the thing. And importantly, and everyone will face, whether it is a 128 GB, 256 GB, 1 TB, 2 TB, or whatever it is, and your phone and your WhatsApp account always flooded with number of good morning, good night messages and videos, whatnot, all such kind of things. And if you don't want to download those videos onto your mobile memory, there is options, and I'm going to discuss those options. Nowadays, earlier it was only group info. Now it is applicable to individual accounts also. For example, I have chosen a group. Under that group, there is something called group info. Click on that. There is 3 dots. Click on that 3 dots, and there is something called group info. The moment you click on the group info, there is an option called media visibility, right? The moment you select the media visibility, there are options called default yes, no, right? Nowadays, default no, yes, no, right? So these things. So what will happen? Default no means no media will be downloaded. Yes, media will be downloaded into your internal phone memory, and no media will be downloaded into your phone memory at all. Okay. So if you choose media visibility, completely no media will be downloaded into your phone internal memory, but that images are there in your group. Whenever you want to see that photo, you can click see, and if you want to save, you can save that picture, right? Hope it is clear. Choose media visibility, infographics, and in earlier screen like group media and media visibility. Choose no, so that no media will be downloaded, if at all, if you are choosing that option, so that you can save your internal memory and secure your mobile also from these various kinds of threats. So I told you, groups. Under the groups, if you choose everyone, so you may get this kind of emails. If you choose only my contacts, you never receive this kind of message. Otherwise, you always receive these kind of messages. Nowadays, people have started getting messages, hi, can I know your free time? So that kind of sweet messages you will get it. So that messages, we don't know with what kind of embedded code it is coming. By clicking or responding, anything can happen to our device. Okay, so try to keep it my contacts, so that you won't receive any messages from anyone, right? So this is with respect to that group kind of thing, and these are the some aspects. Okay, so I was talking about, in a social media platform, we all tend to do upload our images without any issues kind of thing, right? So we all know one picture will give you 1,000 words of information. So there is a website called pic2map.com, and in that website, if you go and upload your picture, it will give you the whole lot of information. So what is the camera used, what is the file information, what is the date, GPS, location, address. Do you want anything else? You might have been uploaded some picture in any social media platform. So I will download that picture and I will see like what is the metadata of that particular picture, right? So I can use this data so that this information will use to me to build a trust, right? See, for example, I wanted to talk to you. I don't have any point. I can just download their picture. Yes, yeah, I know. Like you went to Delhi. From there, you went to, India Gate, and you spent your time. And later part, you went to some Lotus Park and all. Or like you came to Hyderabad, had biryani in this particular shop and all. So all that data it goes out of your hand, right? So that is what it happens. So you use social media. We are not against that. Use social media in a simplified and in a simpler manner, and post pictures. Okay. Group photos rather than individual photos, and post low resolution images than the high resolution images. See, for example, this picture is having 12 MB data, right? This picture is somewhere 12 MB. So see, you can just see 13 megapixel, right? So 13 MB data, right? So that kind of pictures will give you a lot of information. But if you upload low resolution images, getting this kind of information is very, very difficult. Hope it is clear. So use it, but in a different manner, and upload group photos rather than individual photos. Tell the same thing with your brother, sister, children, and all. So this sometimes it may lead to some kind of later part, not immediately. Not immediately, nothing will happen. So the friendship will develop, and they will try to create the trust, and they will ensure like you other person has believed, and later part they will move on to the other platforms and they will start blackmailing parents and all. So these kind of things will happen in the social media platforms. So you have to be keep informed these things either by yourself or your family members, whoever it is, right? So the same thing. Hope it is clear about the WhatsApp and the privacy of the pictures and all. Please confirm. Hope it is clear. All right, thank you. And the same thing is applicable in WhatsApp also, like in the Facebook also, Facebook, Twitter, and Insta, wherever you are. So you have to set your first thing, you have to set all the privacy options and security options and the profile things, and especially you have to enable this two-factor authentication on all your social media platforms. You have to enable two-factor authentication on all your social media platforms. Let me show it here, right? So this is a Facebook thing, and you can click click on that tip, and the moment you get tip settings under the security and login, you have a use two-factor authentication. So by default this is off. So if at all if you are there in Facebook, and switch on that Facebook, and you enable this two-factor authentication, right? As I told you, like your social media accounts will give you a lot of information. The moment you go to the security and login, it will give you like where you have logged in, what kind of device you are using, and whether the save your login information, yes or no, it was on. And two-factor authentication, you are not enabled. You have to enable the two-factor authentication so that you can secure your account. So as I told you, and this kind of information is goes out of your hand. And one more step also I will tell you, like this is the thing which I'm talked about. And nowadays, whether these are the privacy options. The moment you click on the general and timeline and tagging and all that things, in the timeline you have who can see your posts timeline, right? There are so many options. You can use any of these options. Only me or friends, only my friends, only my family, and only my family and friends accept these people. So all such kind of options are available. You can explore and keep those kind of things. So these options are very, very important, either you or your family members. So there is something called privacy. Under the moment you click on the privacy, you'll be getting all the options. You can just see that. Later part you can do it. You need not to do anything at this point of time. Please listen carefully. And who can see your friend list? Only me, everyone, friends and family, all such kind of options are available. We recommend you who can see your friend list? Only me. Why should my friend list should be shown it to someone else? There is no need of. Who can see my email address? No need of sharing. Who can see your phone number? No need of sharing. If at all if you are sharing, restrict with your family and friends. not beyond that. Okay, these options are available. You can explore these options and keep only me or only with your friends, only with your family members, right? If you enable these two-factor authentication and if you keep these privacy options on, and you can safeguard your account. Okay. And one more thing, nowadays this Facebook is also there is something called off Facebook activity. For example, whether you use Facebook or not, so like what are the things you are doing on your mobile phone, that data is deposited in your Facebook account. There is something called off Facebook off Facebook activity. You also can check that off Facebook activity. It will show you like what are the things you are browsing and what kind of things you are doing. So the off Facebook activities should be kept off. Okay, and the data should be removed. You should clear that history and data should be removed, and you should keep it off all the time, that off Facebook activity. Okay, hope that is fine. And here is one more option: allow search engine outside Facebook to link your profile. Will you allow this? Will you allow this, yes or no? You can just read it. Allow search engines outside Facebook to link your profile. You always know. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Say no, right? So don't do that. By in spite of taking all the measures, if at all, if the Facebook was got hacked, your account was got hacked, or like if your account was gone out of your hand, please try to use this command facebook.com back hacked if it is hacked, and you can follow the steps which are mentioned below. And if it is a completely fake profile was got created, you can report. In the place of hacked, you can use called something called report, REPORT, and you can inform those Facebook people so that they will try to act accordingly. Or you can go and report at cybercrime.gov.in. They also will help you out. And 1930, you can call them, so they also can help you out. Okay. So this is with respect to the Facebook and these things which we are talking about. Okay, so end of the day, like your security is very, very important. Okay, so try to follow this 1960-30 whenever you are, so that you can spend some good amount of time with your family members. The moment you get up in the morning, at least keep your phone 90 minutes away. If at all, if you have got up 6 o'clock till 7:30, don't touch your smartphone. If you reach your home at 7 p.m. in the night, don't touch your smartphone up to 8 p.m. And if you are going to the bed 10 o'clock, don't open your smartphone beyond 9:30. At least 30 minutes you should give rest so that to your brain, so that you can peacefully sleep. Otherwise, boss, I have to submit the report by tomorrow. So such kind of messages comes. Of course, it is an emergency. You have to respond. Otherwise, try to do this 90-60-30 pattern so that you can safeguard yourself and you can have a good health conditions, right? So these are with respect to these things. And if at all, if you found any fake news, and if you felt like that is a fake news kind of thing, if you want to check, you can go to the Twitter handle of PIB. PIB fact check is giving a lot of information whether the provided information is true or false, and you can find out whether the information is true or false or fake, and that kind of information you can handle it from the fake news kind of thing. Hope it is clear. Like that, there are so many things. Is it a genuine ATM or not? We are moving to the financial thing. Is it a genuine ATM? Yes or no? Is it a genuine ATM? No, I hope. Okay. Any other? No, sir. Very good. So now you can identify the difference between the top one is a genuine ATM and the bottom same ATM machine with and without having a cap, right? In the bottom ATM machine have something called, the device is a cloning device, right? That, here is an ATM. Okay, this is a cloning machine where it will capture all your credit card details. Okay, and you can just see here they have set a camera, so through that camera they can capture whatever the pin you are typing. So here you can see further more sophisticated skimming machines. So the moment you keep it and the data will go out of your hand, you can just see this is the genuine ATM machine, right? This is a genuine ATM machine, but all right. So this is a genuine ATM machine, and this is having a skimmer. So where it captures the data, and the data goes out of our end, so that it may lead to some kind of ATM frauds also. So these are the various skimmers. It is almost looks like an ATM machine, but is there any difference here? Unless and until we spot it clearly. Okay, so it is capturing your credit debit card details, and sometimes it may lead to some kind of financial frauds. So you have to see like whether if the thing is there, it's well and good. Niche, if there are any cameras kind of thing, then those things you have to check it when you are entering the pin. Okay, so that you can safeguard your hard-earned money. Otherwise, once I experience it, sir, there are chances, sir. There are chances, Vijay Kumar, sir. There are chances. But nowadays, sophisticated ATM machines are came. But whenever you are doing these ATM transactions in a or the city outskirts in isolated locations, then you should suspect. But still, ATM thefts are happening. You have to be careful enough when it is an isolated location or outskirts of the city kind of thing, right? So those things. And whenever you are entering the pin, wherever you are entering the pin, either in a ATM machine or POS or shopping malls and kind of thing, ensure you should ensure you should lock that padlock and enter your pin, right? So that no data will go out of your end, right? So you should always check this HTTPS padlock and digital certificate. If you click on that padlock, then you will come to know like what is the validity of the certificate. For example, so the validity of the certificate was got expiry 24th January 2022. You might, if you go to SBI online SBI.com and click that lock symbol, you definitely will be getting a new new digital certificate. So why we are talking about the digital certificate? It is nothing but someone will be verifying that website, and they were telling like it is good to go on public domain, so you can host it. So that time they will give you some kind of certification. So then you can go for a thing. Then if it is HTTPS is there, you can enter. See, for example, if it is HTTP, the hacker can see like what kind of data you are typing. If it is HTTPS, what are you are typing, it will be encrypted. Morning you heard a word called encrypted. No one knows like what is that. So it will be encrypted and it will be passed to the data. So that is the reason, like wherever you are giving your username, password, OTP and all, you have to check all these three things. One is HTTPS, padlock, click on the digital certificate, and this is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Hope you got the clarity between HTTP and HTTPS. Morning first session you heard about HTTP and HTTPS. I think now you got the clarity, like why people are using the HTTPS. Is it clear? Is it clear, Sarma? All right, good. So these are the kind of things. I think someone is asking, like, how do we know whether that message has came, and the message which is coming is genuine or not. So the first symptom is this message has came from someone, some number. And dear customer, there is no comma. Your SBI account has been suspended. For verification, please complete your KYC. This is the message which you got. Right here, it is telling like SBIbank.com, NG Rock and all. So by seeing this message, you should suspect, right? So if it is a SBI, definitely the message won't be like this. So a lot of grammatical mistakes are here, right? Through this, you should be able to understand. That is one thing. And second thing, like who is the service provider, right? I talked about before starting the session. So this is a number. This is a number. You never ever believe these kind of numbers. If it is came from a number, you should really suspect, and never ever give these things. I'm just giving an example. We are not against any financial institution. We are all working closely with these people, right? Don't worry. I'm just showing these kind of messages. You also might have been received. Most of the people might have been received. Okay. You should always suspect. All right. So it looks like a SBI online.com. You can just see where it is going. If I click that link, so where all it is taking to me, right? So now this is a genuine. Now this is a genuine message. Now you can see, and this is your OTP. And if you type this OTP, right? I got this OTP, and I know that I'm not initiated the transaction. I just typed some OTP, and it is please wait, because it is not original SBI website. After you wait some time, you will get 500 messages. The transaction was not materialized. You type this. So genuinely, you might have been typing this OTP. If at all, if you are typing this OTP, they will get this OTP. By this time, they are already logged in with your credentials. And if you type this OTP, they will type that OTP and they will siphon off your money from that account. Okay. Hope it is clear. Right. So in one of my friend, they have created all these losses. Okay, they have debited all these accounts because he responded to that account. Okay, and your OTP approved for transaction of 1,000 from your account ending, all these things which are happened, and unfortunately this guy has shared the OTP and he lost all this lot of money. Right. So whenever you are doing so that is with respect to the online transaction. Whenever you're doing, and OTP you should not share, and you should identify, differentiate between OTP who is asking through a mobile number and a genuine kind of thing, right? In any online platforms, don't store your either bank credit card, debit card, or details kind of thing. So it is always dangerous. See, for example, someone has stored their credit card details on a mobile device. So the moment you go back, like you might have been shared your details, the mobile phone used by your child, the child or children, or son or daughter, right? They might have been downloaded some game. When they're playing some game, after 2 to 3 levels, they will lose some money to continue further. So by that time, they some notification will come. On the anxiety mode, they will click yes. Immediately they will direct the money. How they will direct the money? It is only for our surprise. Okay, without giving expiry, CVV, OTP, and all, how the money will be debited, right? These games, online games, are developed with a malicious intent. So without your interface, without your interference, they will download the money. For any international transactions, card number is sufficient. You need not to give any of your OTP, CVV, expiry, and all such kind of things. Only domestic transactions, all these details are required, and international transactions, these kind of details are not required. So ensure, like, you should not store any of your details, any of your e-commerce or traveling platforms and all such kind of things. So to stop all those things, nowadays RBI brought in set limits. You can log on to your bank account and credit card details kind of thing, go to the settings, and you can set your limits also. Online transactions, this is the money. Online transactions, this is the money. POS, this is the POS, this is the money. And e-commerce platforms and all. So these are the kind of money. You can set your limits, and you can do the transactions. Whenever you want to increase, you can increase that limit, and you can perform the transaction, go back and decrease that transaction limit. So these are the things one should do it when you are in online platform. Hope it is clear. Okay, so you have to be very careful these kind of things also. So this guy is telling, like, watches, you will get it, and the moment you click, you will be getting these links. And if you study the review, and they're telling, like, used and all these kind of things, and they are also redirecting to various websites. Here you can just see, this is the website, it is redirecting, and this is the website, it is redirecting. So they will collect your credit card, debit card, and bank account details and all. Later part, they will show an error message which you never find, like, what is happening, why is it happening kind of thing. So you have to be very, very careful when you believe such kind of websites and all such kind of things, right? So these are the some aspects. So this is Amazon app, fake Amazon app. The login info, accounting, update window, but there is no Amazon in the URL at all. So you have to be careful with all these kind of things before you do any transactions. Okay, so you should be careful enough in handling that kind of transactions and all that things, right? So that's with respect to the financial things. And let me take the question: in what way we can conclude the HTTPS are secure? Is there a common certificate given to this protocol? No, not at all. So I'm telling you three things, sir. One is the lock symbol, second is the HTTPS, and third thing is the digital certificate. So these things you should check once in a while. So, and at the same time, you also should check whether the URL, like what are the URL you are typing, is it a genuine URL or not, by using the Netcraft extension. Morning it was shown it to you, then you can do the things, but no one can give you any assurance about the certificate. Yes, received a lot of mine but never attempted it. That's good. Now online State Bank of India, yes, they have their own SBI domain. Excellent. So instead of that com in and all, they have removed, and they have come up with this .sbi domain. So with this is with their own domain, right? That is completely perfect, and that is completely, see, now this is the new website, right? So people can come out, but in this creating this kind of domain is very, very difficult, right? As online SBI dot in SBI. So this is a genuine thing. No one can, duplicate these kind of things. Okay. Can you share the case studies for honey trap of government officials? I think recently it was happened in one of the ministry with respect to this G20. G20 is happening, and that person, fortunately or unfortunately, shared lot of information from last 2 to 3 months with the other countries, and finally that person was caught and kept behind the things. So this honey trap, it is always happens. So for example, when we are in a critical organizations, when you are in a critical critical organizations, and where you are involved in where you are involved in where you are involved in these kind of transactions, people always be behind you. And whenever you are accepting any request kind of thing, so you have to be doubly careful. If at all, if you are accepting any request kind of thing, then you are interacting with them, you also have to be very, very aware and very, very careful when you are interacting with them. Okay, when you are interacting with them, and if at all, if they are started asking any confidential data or personal data, you have to be suspect them, and you have to be careful enough. So by the time they will be doing so many things, they will be sharing lot of images, videos. They may try to grab into their they will try to build the trust. Later part, they will be started sharing the images, and they will started tempting you and all. 1 minute please. Okay, so whenever they're asking any confidential information, you should suspect them, sir. And that is how honey traps are happened in recent times, and they were caught, and some important data is gone out of your hand. So if at all, if you are in a critical organization, so you have to be very, very careful, and don't use your official email ID, right? In recent survey, we found like maximum officers are using their official email ID for their social media profiles also, which is very, very dangerous. So you should not use official email IDs for such kind of creation of profiles and all kind of thing. Is there any specific instructions or procedures to be followed in a critical organization? Yes, you have that guidelines, sir. So that can be viewed on Mighty website, or can be contacted in a setting at CDAC separately. Nowadays, official documents are followed on WhatsApp. Is it safe? Any government guidelines? So government is totally, yes, sir. If at all you are in a government platform, they won't allow you to share these official documents on WhatsApp. They have a different platforms, to share the document, to share the email IDs and all such kind of things. So if it is a government, and if you are a critical organization, try to avoid using that platforms to share the data. Otherwise, there are chances, right? We have different platforms where you can use it for government thing. And if at all, if you are in a government .gov.in, or your institution organization at the .gov.in, so those kind of things, you can use it, and you can start using the platforms which were built by NIC under the Mighty. Okay, so that's it from my side. And if you have any doubts, you can ask. And before we And before we move to the thing, let me show the e-learning thing. This is the G20 thing which we are doing. Here you have a quiz, pledge, and all the things. I request all of you, please go through this website and check your things. And you have e-learning course here. Okay, and infosecawareness.in, you have e-learning course. So I request all of you to join this e-learning course on cyber hygiene practices. You can log in or you can register. And if at all, if you don't have account, you can register here, and you can finish finish this registration and complete this course, and you will be getting a certificate also. Within a day or two, we will be sending one email with assessment link and feedback link. There you can give your feedback and assessment, and you can complete your assessment, and you can get your certificate also. So in the meantime, visit this Stay Safe Online. Promote this Stay Safe Online with your family and friends and all, with colleagues. You have number of competition. Children can participate, student can participate. As an officer, you also can participate, and quiz competition is going on. So you also can participate in this quiz competition, and there are so many prizes. Digital certificates are there, and you can check your knowledge also on these various aspects related to the cybersecurity domain. And you have a cyber quad challenge, and like whether are you following the cybersecurity measures or not. So that you can find out from these kind of things, right? And I request all of you, please use these things and complete this e-learning and use all these opportunities so that you will get and enhance your knowledge